Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Monday, we're back to work. We had a lovely restful night last night. Thank you for all the kind comments, much appreciated. And we're back today, and today we are talking about food shortages in the UK and communities. And basically I've been reading the news as you do, and I think the Soil Association have said that they're looking at growers being 20% down this year already. That's before they're sowing the stuff that they normally sow in September. So between the drought, the lack of rain, either stunting crops or making it the ground's too dry for them to sow just now, they are really starting to struggle to get to the same levels that they would have done last year or the year before. So that is seemingly already sitting at about 20% reduction. And if we don't get some decent rain, which seemingly the forecast is not set for, then it could be even more. So come the winter, we could be struggling, especially for things like carrots, potatoes, turnip, etc. They're just not going to be as plentiful as they normally are. So, yeah, I think possibly dehydrating more could be a plan. Get some veggies in your freezer, see if you can grow some. I haven't quite tried that by myself yet. But yeah, there's definitely the report between the Soil Association and I think the Farmers Union as well said that, their members are struggling a bit. And you have to excuse the fly things. I've got fruit flies. I don't know where they came from. Obviously there's something somewhere, but I haven't found it yet. So yes, so food shortages in the winter is a distinct possibility in the UK. Now the other one that I saw was done by some economic think tank or something that said we cannot expect the government to do everything for us. We need to start, doing social and community stuff, which basically boils down to being a good neighbour. Like the woman who was talking about it said, I know who my 84-year-old neighbour is, that I can say to her, look, come and stay at mine today, because we'll have the heating on and that'll save you. And that is great. And I fully intend, I know my neighbours vaguely well, we're not in each other's laps, but if someone wasn't about or if someone needed help, we all muck in and help about. But I have to say, a few years ago, I tried when I was off work for a year. It was when Dad was ill and then he had like a 5-year reprieve. But I took a year off and helped Mum and Dad. And what I tried to do in the community, I did a community website, I did stuff like that, and I tried to have like a wee drop-in centre, just come down and have a coffee and a chat, and see, trying to find somewhere. The charges that my local town halls were charging for me to hire the hall for a couple of hours with the kitchen bit, just to have a kettle on and make a cup of tea, it was expensive. It was so expensive I had to stop doing that. And then when I tried to get funding, understanding I'd had a community website for about 5 years by this time, I couldn't get funding because I was one person. And I get that, they don't want to just hand money to one person in case I run away with it. So I would have had to be a community group or charity. I would have needed to have a chairperson, a secretary, treasurer, all that sort of stuff before I could apply for pretty much any funding. So it didn't happen. I didn't need a group to write on a website. So that didn't happen. And I think that might happen with a lot of places that, especially with energy prices going up, cost hiring things for communities, hiring community halls, etc. That for someone like me who's just like, that would be a really good idea, I can get a group of friends, but it will cost us, and nobody's got that sort of money to burn. So it's all very well saying we shouldn't expect the government to be the ones who are always helping, But if we're doing something for the community, the government could possibly help by not charging us hand over fist for such things. So yeah, that's just my tuppence worth. So that's my two things. The rest of the stuff is just about me. So yesterday we did, as you saw, we did the logs. The clearing of the cabinet, I was asked about that. As I said, I sold Mum and Dad's house. That was just about a year ago now. And I've got so much stuff still here. And one of them is the display cabinet. It's got drawers and cupboards underneath, and it's got the two bits that you saw in the picture last night. And it was full of things like crystal vases. It had some books in it. I had some cups and saucers, china tea sets and things like that. And I just hadn't been able to do anything with them for so long. And trust me, there's a lot of them still sitting behind the camera here. But some, it's been emptied, it's been moved. It's probably going to get sold because it's too big for my room. But it's taken me this long to be able to say, okay, we can move it. And then, okay, we can get rid of it. So that's the sort of thing I'm going through just now with the, what about this, and do we need this, and and it's not the easiest thing to do. We had to empty the whole house and sell it, and there was so much came down to my house, and there's still so much here. And there's some things you just don't get rid of, and there's some things that you have to say, well, actually, I don't need 3 tea services. So now the one that you saw in the picture, that was my granny's tea service. I haven't kept it all because the milk jug got broken and there was a saucer broken. So I've kept 4 cups, saucers and side plates. So that's what it is. I still have 3 sets of butter knives. My granny obviously was a butter knife person. So I need to see which ones of those I'm keeping, if any. Obviously I'll need to keep one. But yeah, little things like that. That's what I was doing yesterday, and I got up at the back of 6. I was in Lidl's at 8. By the back of 9, I was back here doing the video. Then I had to empty the back of my van because we had to take my van up to go and get all the logs. So then we brought the logs down. Then I emptied that cabinet and Patrick moved it. And then I stopped, I think probably about 3:30. So by that time I was just like, no, I'm done. So there you go. Sometimes when you've had a day like that, you just need to stop. So Raven and I just stopped. And that was that. So I hope you've had a good Monday. And I will toddle off now. And I will catch you later.